Yeah.
If you're underperforming, I'm going to be able to easily single you out. And it's a lot easier because I can just say, look, you need to do this better. All these people are doing it right. I'll leave them alone. They're doing it right. But I need to focus on you because you're not doing it right. And that's shitty.
Welcome to the Whissel Way Podcast, where our goal is to show, or I guess tell you, the things that we use here in our team, Whissel Realty Group in San Diego, what we've done, what we're planning on doing to help you grow in your business, whether it be real estate, whether it be mortgage, whether it be something completely different. Obviously, us being real estate agents, I'm not an agent, but being in the real estate group here, we talk a lot about real estate. But we're going to talk to you about, today we're going to talk about, I'm here with my sales manager, Mike Proctor. One of the things we've talked about in the previous episode was a boot camp of how we get our agents up and running. Here on this episode, we are going to be talking about what we do on a daily basis. I say we, but it's not me, it's Mike. What Mike does on a daily basis to continue to motivate, to continue to keep people accountable, to keep growing them day by day.
Mm-hmm. Lots of coffee. That's really it. So
thanks for
signing in.
Yes. So Mike, we've transformed this process time and time again. I think we've got a really good process now. What I want to talk to you about, and what I want you to tell our listeners about, is we have a daily huddle.
Right.
So tell me the idea behind it. What is a daily huddle?
So the whole concept is we have agents. We have, 25 agents on the team, and they're all independent contractors, right? Mm-hmm. They don't report to me. I'm not their manager. I'm their business partner, right? And my role is to help them be as productive as possible. And if anybody has ever read any book about highly successful people, well, the most successful people in business always have a morning routine, right? And that morning routine is slightly different for each person, right? Some people are faith-based and they read in their scriptures, and, some people just need their Cheerios every morning, whatever it is, right?
With lots of sugar.
And, there's people like me that mainline coffee, whatever that is for you, it's right. That is your morning routine. And what we have done is we've built in just one extra layer, and we've kind of impressed upon our agents that this is part of our morning routine.
And so it's not a requirement.
No, and it's so important because, as them being independent contractors, I can't require an agent to do anything, right? But I can expect them to do things. And with those expectations, if you do this, you will get this. Right? There's quid pro quo here.
You can tie rewards to expectations.
Absolutely.
It's not a requirement. Okay.
You incentivize it.
And that's especially important if you're in California because there's laws and lawyers and stuff.
Everybody likes to get sued here, or do the suing. There's suing that happens in California.
A lot of sewage.
That's true. Yeah. That's not the word I was using, but that's true.
I think it works both ways.
It's shitty all the way around. Anyway, so when it comes to expectations and incentivizing expectations, one of those expectations that we have for our agents is to be a part of this morning huddle.
Okay.
Now, each morning we have a different theme, a different topic.
And before we get into that, the morning huddle is how long?
It starts at 8:15 in the morning.
Okay.
And it's done on Zoom.
Cool.
Right? So it's Zoom.
Yep.
Right. So it's a video conference call. And it's really cool because the whole concept here is we want to make sure that the agents are out of bed, that they're not like groggy and laying in their bed, right? You're up, you're awake, you're attentive, you're business-minded first thing in the morning.
So they're expected to have their cameras on.
Yes.
So you see them, you hear them.
Want to see your smiling face.
Starts at 8:15, goes for how long?
With that, I could give a shit where you are. Mm-hmm. You could be in your bedroom. That's fine. Have your camera on, smiling face, and then engage with what we're talking about.
Cool.
Right? I've had a handful of agents that take it right after they're done surfing, where I'm super jealous.
JC Agatanian.
Yes, Bryan Mancuso and Anas Tayor.
That's funny.
That was for you, buddy. But yeah, they'll take it in their car with their wetsuit on, messy hair, I don't care, but they're there. They're like, look, I know I just finished my morning routine, which involved surfing, and now I'm ready for my business day.
Yep.
And this is that 8:15. It really does okay, business day has started.
Cool.
Right. And then based upon how many people are on the call that morning, it will go for 15 to 25 minutes.
Cool.
Right.
And so you do this Monday through Friday.
It is Monday through Friday, and the agents are expected to be on 4 out of 5 of them per week.
Now, why not 5 per 5?
Well, because I want you to have a day off.
During the week.
Absolutely.
Because Saturdays and Sundays are
work days,
baby.
Last time I checked, we do a lot of work on Saturdays and Sundays because that's when the average client wants to go see homes.
Yep.
So if I'm going to go show houses on a Saturday and Sunday, I should probably take a day off during the week.
Do you have a day that you prefer to take off, or you prefer the agents to take off?
No. I want you to have full volition to do that,
cool.
Right? Like that's 100% in your bag. If maybe your wife has the same day off as you, that's awesome. You guys can really spend the day together, right?
Yep.
That's the whole point. I want you to enjoy your day off.
Excellent.
So when it comes to themes of each huddle, right? I'll start on Tuesday, and I know everybody out here is like, why are you starting on Tuesday?
Because I like it because it's a teaser. You got to listen through to get to Monday.
You got to see, right? Tune in next week. Anyway.
No.
So
we're not doing that.
Tune in next week, but I'm going to go over everything today. We'll have other cool shit next week.
Yes.
So we're going to start on Tuesday. Tuesdays are when I go through everybody that's on the call, and we all set a goal for that week. Right. And the goal could be a litany of things. Maybe you want to go to the gym 4 times this week. Then you want to do 2 open houses this week. Right. It's not always numbers related, but the idea is it's something that you are in control of.
And they need to be specific enough, right?
Absolutely.
It's not get better at phone calls.
No,
that's not a goal.
For example, when I first got onto the team as an agent, the most common goal was I want to open an escrow this week. Well, that's not entirely controllable.
Yep.
Now, if I want 4 appointment shows this week, that you can control because I can make enough phone calls to set enough appointments to then get that many appointment shows.
Yep.
Right. But I can't strong arm somebody into getting into an escrow.
You will write this offer. I will meet my goal.
Literally, there's legal issues there. The sewage of California. So coin that phrase. Tell your friends.
Hashtag sewage.
Hashtag sewage of California. So anyway, that's Tuesday. We go over goals.
Okay.
Wednesday, we actually have this meeting in person here in the office.
Okay.
And we do a weekly review of numbers.
And now we have 2 offices. We have one here in Santee, California.
Correct.
Which I found out there's a Santee, South Carolina, which is not as cool as Santee, California.
Well, duh. We don't have an office there.
And we have one in the heart of San Diego in North Park.
Yep.
So this is done in our Santee office.
Correct.
Because, and we're not going to get too far into it, but later in the day, we do in-person role play. We do a lot of things where they're expected to be here anyway.
Right. Yeah, there's a reason behind having them in the office on Wednesdays. Number one, we do want to see their face,
in person.
In person,
Yep.
There's a camaraderie that we like to keep in our culture.
Yep.
And we do incentives and things like that for, prospecting on Wednesdays. But you come into the office on Wednesdays, we do a weekly review of numbers. And we do this because it's different than your goal. Because not everybody has a goal of setting this many appointments or having this many appointment shows. But it's incredibly important that we celebrate the agents that are doing really well. And that's what Wednesday mornings are all about. It's celebrating the agents that are doing well in the KPIs that we're really focused on.
Excellent.
Then on Thursday, we have one of our preferred lenders come on and they do...
Real quick, before we go to Thursday,
yeah.
I want to talk about Wednesday. We look at numbers. We use Sisu. Sisu.
Yes.
CO. Okay, that's what I thought. And you pull up literally everyone's numbers that's there and say, okay, you did this, right?
Oh, yeah. I put them up on the whiteboard on the wall. It's a projector screen.
Yep.
And you can't hide from it.
And one thing that we found works better is celebrating wins. Wow, you killed it. You did this much of this, as opposed to putting down, why did you only do 1 hour calls? What the hell, right? We found that doesn't work as well as Anas, you freaking crushed it. You did all your, like, right?
Well, it's so funny because there's a human need to feel included.
Yes.
There's a human need to be a part of, right? A lot of people say keeping up with the Joneses,
Okay.
right? That concept. Oh, if they've got it and everybody's giving them credit for it, well, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we really leverage that concept with, I am going to celebrate the shit out of the behaviors that we want to cultivate.
That's why we have so much sewage.
Well, exactly.
Too much celebration.
Because we celebrate the shit, right? So, no, that was not what we do.
There's other sewage.
So anyway, no, we really promote and celebrate those behaviors that are the leading indicators and the behaviors that we want to see in the team. So the agents that maybe don't display those behaviors as often, because they all display those behaviors,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe the ones that don't display it as often, that need help, that have opportunity in those areas, are going to start feeling like left out, if you will.
Yeah.
Right. And they're going to look and say, well, all these people over here are getting this recognition. I want that recognition. And the only way that they're going to be able to start getting it is if they start displaying those behaviors. And
the flip side is if you put them down for not doing it, they're not going to want to continue to come. They're
it
not going to
creates a resentful environment.
Correct.
You know,
Cool.
a septic environment. Now that we're on sewage, we're
Yeah.
going to talk about septic
and
now.
and I mean, we have grown into this. So
Totally.
if you're doing that now, you're not the only, and I don't want to say we
Well,
used to,
this
but
is the thing,
we're
man.
doing
Like
better now.
it's so much easier and natural. As terrible as that sounds, it's natural to only look at the low performers and the outliers.
Yep.
Because they're targets.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, in the wild, those are the animals that get picked off first. The sick, the elderly, the old, the ones that are straggling.
Yep.
Those are the first targets. Well, so in
Or
that
the young.
regard, right? In that regard, it's an animalistic, innate thing.
Yeah.
If you're underperforming, I'm going to be able to easily single you out. And it's a lot easier because I can just say, look, you need to do this better. All these people are doing it right. I'll leave them alone. They're doing it right. But I need to focus on you because you're not doing it right. And that's shitty. That's terrible. Right?
It's our gut reaction, but that's not how we should do. Okay.
Yep.
So Tuesday we have setting our goals.
Yep.
Wednesday we have going over numbers.
Yep.
Thursday we're
inviting our preferred lender in, and they do a State of the Union.
Cool.
Right? And this is what market rates are. This is what's going on. These are the trends. This is what we forecast. They also go over like specific loan programs that are beneficial to our clients that our agents need to know about, right? We don't want our agents to be the ostrich with their head in the sand when it comes to lending. Mm-hmm. We're not the loan officer. We're not going to do the loans. We're not going to, start quoting rates and all this other stuff. But if I need some market volition, I need validity to my client. I need to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right. At least at a surface level.
Yep.
So that they'll trust me enough to take my recommendation of talking to my lender.
And to make sure you can trust yourself enough in encouraging and in guiding your client. You don't want to be like, yeah, you should do it now. And then your lender's like, dude, I told you rates were going to drop in 2 days and you locked in and now you're stuck.
Right.
Cool.
So, and then Friday is definitely my favorite huddle of the week. Friday is when we get to do wins.
Good.
This is when the agents get an opportunity to get on their soapbox and pat themselves on the back, scream from the rooftops that, you know what, I did this right this week. And whatever this is, maybe they did a PR on their mile. Maybe, they finally door knocked that neighborhood that, they've been putting off, or they just door knocked in general because they were petrified of door knocking.
All right. So I know it's only right now we're recording on a Wednesday. I know this is going to come out in a couple weeks, but what was your win for this week? I want to give you a little platform to share your win for this week.
Big win for me this week is speaking at the Tom Ferry event.
Not only speaking, he freaking crushed it, bro. Like I told him, I was like, I expected you to do great. You did better than that.
And that means a ton from you, Koci. Appreciate that, brother.
Of course.
But yeah, it was really important for me to deliver value, because that's always really high on my list of why I'm here, right? And having a room full of, it was about 200 people. There was a lot of people in there.
Standing room only.
Yeah. And for, 25, 30 people to stay afterwards and continue to ask questions and engage. It really filled my cup, man.
Good.
And that's a big win for me. So thank you for that.
You crushed it. Tom, do you have an applause button on there? Let's see.
Let's push
Let's
buttons.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an applause for Tom as well.
Yes.
Look at that. Oh, and the fade. Beautiful.
Dude.
All right. So Friday
This
is
guy.
wins. That's great. Everyone goes through, shares their wins. Now we're to Monday.
Oh, see, you didn't have to wait until next week. Here it is. Wait, there's more. So on Mondays is when we deliver our results from the prior week's goal, right? Because initially we were setting goals on Monday and then reporting on them on Friday. And routinely everybody was like, yeah, but I haven't had an opportunity to do my open houses yet. Oh, I've got 3 appointments scheduled for this weekend. I haven't been able to do them. So we made the adjustment to setting goals on Tuesday and then reporting upon them on Monday. That way the agents had the entire weekend and that entire week, if you will, to accomplish their goal.
Which makes so much sense.
Totally.
You talked about that. I'm like, duh. But that doesn't, you don't set goals on Tuesday. Like, that's weird. But then you go, well, duh.
And then you're like, oh, that makes sense.
It makes complete sense.
You know, and then there's some method to the madness on Monday mornings as well. So you've got, 15 to 18 agents that are on each call out of the 25 because everybody takes a different day off during the week. And from that, you've got, I would say at best, 70% of the agents have accomplished their goal, on the best day. And that's what's expected. I wouldn't expect it to be 100% accomplishment because that means you're not setting goals that are stretching you.
Yeah, they're not doing janky goals. I want to go to the gym once this year.
Right. I want them to put goals in front of themselves that kind of scare them a little bit, that make them uncomfortable. Right. And so out of that, I'm taking notes on, who did and did not accomplish their goal. And then that sets up my follow-up phone calls for that day.
Cool.
And it's like, hey, what happened? What kept you from making those phone calls? What kept you from accomplishing those appointment shows?
And that's where you can coach up.
That's exactly where that happens.
Cool. Excellent, Mike. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That does it for the Whissel Widget, or that does it for the Whissel podcast. And it brings us into the Whissel Widget of the week.
Yeah.
I was hoping for another sound effect. Do you have anything that could fit there? I'll do it again. That brings us to the Whissel Widget of the week. That wasn't the
sound effects are fun.
That wasn't the sound effect I was expecting, but that's fine. Okay, I will go first again, or do you want to go first?
Go ahead.
So my widget this week is a phone app. I have it on my iPhone. I believe it's on the Android as well. That will help make your still images stand out by adding animation to them. So this is really a cool app. You have a still image. You take a picture of a house. It's got clouds in the sky. That's a cool shot, right? What this app will do is you can make it look like the clouds are moving. You can make it look like the water's falling. You can make movement happen within the still image. And it's called Pixaloop. And I think it's Pixaloop. Pixaloop. And then there's a free version and a paid version. You can get really complicated with it, but it's really going to make your still images stand out on social media when it's so important to stand out on social media. So that's my widget of the week. It's super cool. It's super fun. It doesn't take a lot of time to do basic things, but it can get really complicated and you can make really, really, really unique things.
Awesome. My widget of the week is a little bit different. It's not an actual thing that already exists. It's the act and creation of a dream board. A lot of times we get so caught up in our day-to-day as agents, and we get so ingrained with what we've done today or what we did yesterday, and it's so difficult to see the big picture and to stay focused on what we're really trying to get out of why we're doing this, right? So jump on Canva, canva.com.
Yep.
And then you can just pull images off, Google, that are things that you dream about having, whether it be a house, whether it be you're going to go on a vacation. So now you're going to take a photo on Google that's from the tropical place, right? If you're into cars, snag an image off of Google from one of the cars that you're like, that's the car I want, right? Maybe you want to do a kitchen remodel. Go find the kitchen you want. Put that on a piece of paper. Breathe it into existence, right? Put that shit on paper. Put it on your phone. Put it at your desk. Put it where you prospect, right? Put it so you can't get away from it. What I did was after I printed mine out, I sat at the dinner table with my wife and my kids, and I gave them a copy of it. I said, this is why I do what I do. This is where I want us to go. This is where I want to bring us. This is the trip that I want to pay for because of what I'm doing. So you want to talk about accountability? Like I shared that with my family, and it is so powerful, you guys. And that's why I say breathe it into existence. You know, if it's just a thought, it's going to stay there. But you put that out on paper and you start talking about it. You look at it every day. You look at it after you get told no for the 300th time that day. And that's what motivates you to make that 301st phone call, right? You put it on your phone so after you door knock that one guy that slams the door in your face and sicks his dog on you, happened once. So
that Chihuahua was vicious.
Yeah, it was mean. So you look at that phone and you go, no, I can keep door knocking because we're going to go on a Disney cruise this year, right? So, yeah, dream board.
Which you did last year. I did last year. That was on my new dream board. Yeah. And my wife and I are actually going to build one together that we're going to put at the end of our hall that we're going to walk past every night before we go to bed.
Yes. I love it, man.
So
cool. Well, that's what I got for you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Whissel Widget of the Week. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Whissel Way Podcast. If you like it, subscribe. If you love it, leave a review. If you want more info, go to thewhisselway.com. That's where you can join our Facebook group. That's where you can subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube, learn about more events that we're throwing coming up. And soon, if it's not up already, where you can join our list of agents that we can refer business to outside of San Diego. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you, and we will see you next week.
Wait. Before you leave, I want to share some more tips and tricks that we're using in our business to take it to that next level. Just click right here. And don't forget to subscribe. Click right here.